Us get the word out that there's awesome StarCraft being played out over here. Now, in the bottom left, it is Spirit.
And in the top right, it is the Elder Statesman himself, MaNa.
Yeah.
31 years old, so old, honestly.
I don't know how he'd feel about that if he heard us saying that.
Well,
Johnsolo32 has supported with 100 gems.
He understands. He understands the context.
He does. Yeah, I think he'd be aware of that. John Solo tosses in 100 gems. Thank you so much. That puts us 150 away from hitting the increased prize pool goal. Thank you, John, and thank you, Phoenix, for supporting the stream. Okay, we've got a bit of a cheeky engineering bay block by Spirit to start this off. However, MaNa does pull probes and finds it rather quickly, so it's not going to get that much HP up. Spirit trying to be cheeky and come back in with that SCV. You want to maximize the delay as long as possible, but MaNa is on it, and he may actually get that SCV. Yes, he will. So all in all, a very nice shutdown by the Protoss.
Yeah, it's a delay, but otherwise, killing an SCV, getting a cancel on Engineering Bay is a win in and of itself. Yeah, John Solo, for a StarCraft gamer, 31 is old. I think we determined the oldest StarCraft 2 gamer right now that's active is Classic, and he's 33. He is the oldest one. So yes, 31 is old, 32, 33 are old. I'm 42. I'm an ancient zombie mummy elder statesman over here.
Yeah, every year, though, the StarCraft 2 scene gets a little older. Though, that's the thing.
People retire, though.
Yeah, but not as much as they used to. Like, there's not a lot of new blood coming into the scene, so, like, just on average, everyone gets older. Like, in 10 years, the average StarCraft player is going to be well into their 30s, I think it's safe to say.
Could be. Although, I don't know, I've seen Baby Marine hopping in here.
It's true.
Reyno's little brother doing stuff at like 12 years old.
No way, because Raynor used to be the young guy, but now he's got to be like 23 or something, and so his little brother's got to be in his 20s, so...
Well, let's find out. I actually don't know how old he is. Baby Marine. To the Wikipedia, the source of all knowledge. See, John Solo is 52. See, that's the Spirit. He's 19 years old.
Okay.
Baby Marine is a teenager, man. The young blood is coming for us all.
I'm for it. That is the beautiful thing about the European scene, which is why doing these cups is exciting. We do have an incredibly deep roster in EU. Like, if you check out the open European cups, the sign-ups are insane for a lot of them. And that is one of the things that makes us want to do these EU events. So, as always, click that like button, follow the stream on SOOP if you haven't already.
Yeah, we're going to be here all of 2025, man. We have plans. Yeah, Phoenix is 25. He's even feeling old in this conversation. Good grief, people. Yeah, don't compare your age to esports gamers. Just don't do it. Not allowed. Compare your age to, like, oh, I don't know, presidents of the United States, who are all apparently going to be 85 years old until the end of time.
That's, you're never too old to be president of the United States.
I guess not. Yeah, that's a way to feel young. Look at that position. The last two presidents have been the oldest ever at this point, and I don't know, we're trending in the right direction. No. We'll see what happens in the next election. War Prism coming in. Let's go. Let's get some charge lots. Let's get some stalkers. War Prism can help either of those things get some work done here. Gonna be Blink Stalkers for now, but, you know, later's also good. Concussive Shells on the way. Stims coming in from Spirit.
Yeah, rather quick
Marines and Marauders.
Shells. The double Marauders is gonna be really big.
He's anticipating Stalkers here, and Concussive Shell is kind of specifically made for Stalkers in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's what you got to do if you're not building the tanks, which Spirit isn't. He's going for this 3-rack splay, excuse me. And, yeah, so that's it. Like, your tanks are very delayed. if you're going for this 3cc 3 racks opening. So Marauders are how you overcome that, just by having so much bulk. And looks like Spirit taking this incredibly seriously, which I love, pulling SCVs to help buffer for the bio. Targets down the Stalkers that had already used their blink as well, so he gets one of them, bruises up a few more. I don't think Spirit has too much to worry about, because, I mean, he's already got Stimpack done, Concussive Shells is done, MaNa is going to take whatever he can get, but Spirit is in no danger whatsoever. I think we will see a 4th and 5th racks go up sometime relatively soon, just the longer Terran has to sit back. You just say, okay, I'll get up more production and focus on a little bit later in the game.
Yeah, no reason to rush anything here. He is supply blocked, unfortunately. He's getting out there with the 3 supply depots in production. Stalkers blinking them, or warp prising themselves into the natural base. Sorry, behind where all the defense is. A couple SCVs go down. He's making Colossus on the back side of it and saving that last Stalker with a pickup. Nicely done, MaNa.
Marauder survives with 3 HP. That's the kind of thing MaNa is trying to pick up. He knows he's not going to win the game with 6 Stalkers, but he can set himself up to be in a better position. The longer he keeps pressure on Spirit, the better it is. We even have a turret going up for Spirit, just playing it nice and safe, which I do love and respect, as it shows confidence in the later game, just having something that'll counter DTs, keep observers out of his base, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's Colossus, it's Charge Lots, it's Blink Stalkers, it's all sorts of normal stuff here, out of mana. Still trying to shark around, keep Spirit busy worrying about Stalker showing up in his main, showing up in his natural. Third base lifting, heading out to land where the Stalkers are sitting currently, and maybe a bit of a push out here too. And what do we got finishing up here? +1 attack is on the way, could be a bit of a +1 timing attack. Warp Prism, a little bit too fast for those even Stim Marines to cast. That is a fast unit.
Yeah, Spirit is really respecting MaNa in this match, though, knowing that the Protoss is going to be looking for some damage. That's why we've got turrets built inside the main base to keep the Prism out. Nothing at the natural base just yet. We'll see if he builds some there. However, the Terran is playing this incredibly safe, kills off those rocks to prevent the Protoss coming in with a bunch of charge lots as easily. So MaNa's going to have to come in from the left. A bunker is building for Spirit. That's probably not going to finish, though, as the toss comes on in, but it does, and there's the repair. Force fields go down for MaNa,
keeping it alive. And Marauders jumping in, trying to take down. Nice pickup on that Colossus, though, keeping it alive. It was being focused by the Marauders. Third Colossus joins the party. They've got range. They're working on that +1 attack. +1 finishing now from Spirit. Bunker gets busted. And then MaNa falling back. Doesn't quite like coming up here. Sees some tanks coming in for the siege up. Getting a 4th base behind this. Just kind of trying to keep the pressure on, slow down Spirit while getting big on the other side of the map.
The tanks are going to be so big for Spirit to make this defense happen. MaNa has to commit on in. He's going to need to pick those off, and he does, targeting them. Spirit realizes how serious this situation is, pulls the SCVs, which is absolutely the right call. The tanks were trying to target down the Colossus, however, MaNa keeps 2 of them alive, but all his Zealots are dead, and Spirit is pursuing. Still, though, there's 3 Colossus. I think Spirit may need to lift up into the medevac of his own, but he does end up getting pushed back. MaNa warps in another, what's that, 8 Stalkers to join this push, and Spirit is bullied off his 3rd base.
That's huge. No pressure on the other side at no harassment at all. I think Spirit may be losing it here. Blinking into the main base, cliff walking into the main base. When's the last time you saw a Colossus actually cliff walk in a pro game? SCV is running forward. A couple swipes on those guys would be good. They're being pulled into the battle anyway. Doesn't really matter. One Colossus goes down. The other one getting juggled. The other one getting juggled by the Warp Prisms here too. Stalker's getting hits off 51 to 26 army supply. MaNa has a massive advantage. All the SCVs are dead. GG. Yeah. Yo. Impressive showing there from the Polish Protoss player. MaNa, the Elder Statesman, still has what it takes. He was in about a 25-minute game on the ladder before showing up to the series today for the SOOP StarCraft Global. So he's all sorts of warmed up. He's all ready to go. He has not dropped a map yet. No, just kidding. He did lose 1 map to a laser.
He did.
But otherwise, he's been on fire.
He is looking really darn good, though. And we'll see if Spirit can bring it back. That's the beauty of these best of 7s in the format we pick, as it means the next map is Spirit's choice. So he'll be a little bit comfortable. And there we go. Ley lines.
Ley lines. And we're loading in. All right. Fantastic stuff. Ready to go. Game 1. Bit of a shorter run. PvT, it is a bit of an overall shorter matches in the series type matchup. It is hard to find like a 25-minute PvT. And that's been the case for a long time. I mean, that's just been a very, very long time that trying to find a longer PvT at the pro level has been very difficult. Just a lot of ways you can die early. A lot of ways you can take damage early that then snowballs into a victory. Or a loss for you, I guess, like we saw in game number 1 there. So we'll see if you can get some changes here for Spirit in game number 2 and avoid that happening to him again.
Yeah. In the upper right, there's the man himself, representing the orange, and it is Spirit.
And in the bottom left, up 1-0, MaNa.
Thanks so much to everyone for tuning into this event. If you enjoy them, click that follow button on the stream. If you don't have a SOOP account, go ahead and make one. It takes about 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty simple stuff, man. It's not asking for your, a DNA sample and your mother's maiden name. At least not when I signed up.
Okay, gateway on the way for MaNa. Spirit does go for the dirty eBay block again, and this time it's going to be a little bit of a later scout from the Protoss. MaNa is just planning on going for a Cybercore. He already fires up a Zealot, just as part of his build. Usually he'd cancel this, but instead he is not. Interestingly enough, Spirit preemptively pulls the SCV off the eBay.
Yeah, there's only one probe here.
Yeah, he maybe could have had a second more of building.
There we go. He's back now, getting that extra second of building. Swinging back around for maybe another round of it, or going for a scout, yeah.
Yeah, that will force MaNa to produce the Zealot. Delays the Nexus just a teeny tiny bit.
Yeah, that probe says, I'll fight you. You don't have any HP, man. You want to come over here? Let's go.
Oh, look at him go.
Wow, getting another couple extra seconds of build on that thing. Just a little bit harder, a little bit longer to take it down with the Zealot. No upgrades on him. He's all alone in the world. The Stalker is going to help him. And there's the cancel.
Spirit.
All right, expanding immediately. It's like, okay, we are delayed.
Reaper is crossing the map for Spirit. MaNa, meanwhile, wants to get counter-aggressive since he did make these units, but that means the Protoss is very underprepared to deal with this. Is he just going to recall? No, he just chrono boosts the Stalker inside his main base. MaNa wants to try and get some counter damage done, although Spirit has a bunker building, and it's just about done. The Marines for Spirit are rather late, though, just firing them up now, so while he'll have the bunker done, he won't have anything to put it in. The Reaper does grab 3 probes, and an SCV is trying to repair the bunker with nothing inside it. Marines may have a hard time getting here, as the Stalker and Zealot can potentially block them. Spirit does bring a few SCVs down to help out, and MaNa does not block the Marines. He does just avoid the bunker, though, and that may delay the CC a little bit.
Still delayed. That SCV does not want to go to work on it. Now he's getting on to work on it, but that brings him right in range of the Protoss. Dies immediately. It's just as bad RNG right there. And the delay on the command center is equally as bad as the delay on the second Nexus on the other side of the map. This is amazing. Another Stalker comes in.
Yeah, that
further
is so
delaying construction of the CC.
A Hellion comes in to help out. Spirit does have that now buffer a little bit, but it does next to no damage to Stalkers. He is able to complete the command center, so it can start being useful by morphing into an orbital command. Spirit, though, has to wait for more Marines to pop on out. The Terran has got a factory done, and it looks like Spirit may actually go into a Banshee or a Raven behind this. I do like that choice.
Almost getting that Zealot too.
Banshee is on the way.
Yeah, loving that. Ooh, and getting Cloak for the Banshee as well. Fancy stuff here. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm not sure MaNa's going to have the detection available for that Banshee when it shows up initially here. Obviously, we're not going to have Oracles in this matchup, at least not in this game. Is there a Forge that exists? I'm not sure there's not a Robo out there either, so going to be tough. That's the thing. There's a reason that Blink takes forever. There's the Robo. That Blink. That Cloak takes forever to come in here. It's because it is really powerful. And you want to give the enemy a chance to have some kind of detection before the Cloak Banshees show up. So it's going to happen.
Yeah, Spirit could potentially get a lot of damage done with this. At the same time, he's got to be really defensive. In previous matches of the day, he did go for double bunker at his natural. I hope for his sake we'll see that again, because MaNa does have malicious intent right now. He's up to 8 Stalkers, and he's going to have Blink. He's got a forward gateway, so he'll be able to warp in more Stalkers very quickly. Spirit, because of the opening, has only got 1 siege tank out now, which is why I think we need to see another bunker. That Banshee is gonna need to get some counter damage done because MaNa is getting aggressive, and he may just be going for a kill. Look at this, the one Zealot leading the charge. Spirit is gonna need to pull SCVs on this right away, and in goes MaNa. Blinks, kills the tank. SCVs are pulled to repair the bunker, but it's not going to stay alive. So that is really problematic because now the Stalkers can just micro against this endlessly. A Banshee does pop out. It can cloak to actually repel the Stalkers, and that is big. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the Banshee is getting work done. So a defensive Banshee for Spirit may be the thing that saves him in this game. He does need to build another bunker. He does have 1 more tank out, which is definitely going to help him stay alive because the effect of that Banshee isn't going to last forever. In fact, that cloak is gone now.
Yeah, finally making an observer. Guy had a Robo the whole time. Took him a minute to get one. He did chrono it out. So he's going to take those Banshees, but 18 probe deaths. That's massive. 42 to 26 workers. Spirit, he was dead, but the Cloak Banshee saves his patootie. Amazing.
Okay, the bunker's just about done. Is MaNa going to blink in on the tank once again? No, he realizes there's too much Marine firepower there. This time Spirit is pulling SCVs to help repair the bunker. He can afford to lose a few, or quite a few actually, since he took so much damage. He just has to not die, as MaNa is going to be looking for a kill move if he can find it. The Stalkers are moving on in. MaNa blinks in, accidentally missed targets on the command center. That is a costly mistake. And Spirit takes game number 2 to tie the series up.
Dude, MaNa had that game. He just kind of skipped detection for a little bit too long, and then the misclick on that command center at the end was also huge.
Yeah.
And yeah, tying it up. Spirit, way to go.
That was a very, very costly misclick by MaNa.
Yeah, brutal. You really want to hit those tanks more than anything else. And then, yeah, that 18 kill probe count, thanks to that Cloaked Banshee. I mean, you just got to have it. You got to have the detection. You got to have a cannon. You got to have an Oracle. You got to have an Obs. You got to have something at around that 6-minute mark or 5-minute mark. 5.5 minutes is about when the Banshee's going to show up. If it's not proxied or anything. We're going on Whispers of Gold here for game number 3. We are tied up in our best of 7 series here for SOOP StarCraft Global number 13. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Good to see people like John Solo and Phoenix out here in the chat having a good time. I'm feeling old as we talk about the age of esports gamers. We're going to hop on into the lobby here of the Whispers map, as it is referred to colloquially by the players, and see who's going to come out on top here in this best of 7.
Yeah, we're getting all the players into the lobby. So far, we've got the makings of a good series. That game was a little dicey for Spirit, even though he was able to win it. I don't think you feel too good as the Terran with that one. You're like, huh, man, if the toss had an observer, I'd be screwed.
Yeah, it's such a big risk. He heads over there and he's like, please don't have detection. Please don't have detection. And then, bam, totally didn't have detection. And he's like, I am lucky today. I've been favored by the Terran gods. Raynor has blessed me.
All right, and here we are into game number 3. In the bottom right, in the orange, it's Spirit.
And in the top left, it's MaNa.
MaNa.
1 and 1.
So far, Spirit has gone for a cheeky eBay block in the previous 2 matches. We'll see if he goes for that again. Although, not sending out a worker just yet.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to go for it here. It's fun times, but can't do it every time.
No, you cannot. The effectiveness of it is even questioned a little bit when it's regularly used. Like, it's really, it's one of those things that's really hard to gauge. You're like, was this effective? I don't know. He blocked the natural for 12.5 seconds.
Right. I'm sure somebody's got a spreadsheet somewhere that's like, okay, if you block the expansion for 13.5 seconds and you lose the SCV, but you also kill a probe, then it's even. But if it's only 11.5 seconds and you don't kill the probe, then you're down. Like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody's got that figured out, but
well, it's like
not me.
It's like the Zerg thing, right? Like, we have multiple openings as far as hatchery timings for Zerg, and it's like one of these has to be better, but no one knows which. So it's tough to say.
I bet Cyril knows.
Yeah, whatever Cyril does is clearly the right decision.
Right. Unless you're Clem.
MaNa is not going Blink in this match. He's electing to go for a Stargate, showing us some variety. Meanwhile, Spirit is sending out an SCV. This could be a cheeky proxy starport.
Oh, come on. Give us a proxy. I don't think we've had a proxy today. Factory done. Gas. There's the gas.
We even
Starport
had
it is.
Harstum in his series. I remember him going for a scout with his, I think it was an adept or something, explicitly to look for this proxy starport, because Spirit is someone that does this fairly regularly.
Ah, okay. I like it. So is it Banshee? Is it Liberator? What do we think?
It's going to be a Medivac to elevate these Hellions.
Let's go.
Medivac is building. Soon there'll be 4 Hellions out. An Adept is crossing the map, though. This could be very bad for MaNa if the Adept gets caught by the 4 Hellions. As it goes to poke on in. There are the Hellions. They see the Adept, and they know they can kill that if they can catch it. And catch it they shall, as it can only shade it shaded forward, so it was totally dead. Now MaNa knows what he's up against. Hellion pressure early game. Immediately walls his natural base. Moves or he should be moving that Adept to his main because he's got the natural covered. Phoenix are present. The Medivac shows itself to try and bait MaNa, but look at that. The wall pays off. The Spirit tried to pull a fast one, but MaNa's Phoenix and wall placement counter that very, very effectively.
Cars with flamethrowers on them. How do you possibly stop this? Wall. That's it. Wall.
Yep.
Phoenix are out here dealing with the Medivacs.
MaNa so slick to get the probe out, but not to destroy his wall. Uses the gateway trick. Well, the building trick.
Yeah, gets his probe all squished up in there, builds a pylon, scooshes through, cancels the pylon. Fantastic.
Spirit, trying to be slick, lands his starport to build a Liberator, but, I mean, MaNa sees that and parks the Phoenix right on top of it.
I mean, Phoenix versus Liberator. Who wins 1v1? Probably Phoenix.
I think Phoenix does. Phoenix is faster.
They both kind of suck at it. Yeah.
Can always retreat too, move while shooting. Like, Spirit should 100% cancel this Liberator. He's not going to, though. He's just going to try and keep MaNa busy. And look at that. MaNa does take the bait. He's like, wait a second, you let that finish? It's supposed to be a game of chicken. What are you doing, man?
That's amazing. All right, Obs sees what we're dealing with here. Sees the Liberator, Marines, Hellions, Cyclone pushing up towards the third base. Gonna reposition
Yeah.
some army to defend that over there. Hellions maybe gonna go for a run by into the natural if everybody overcommits to the right side. Liberator shows up. Cyclone versus the Phoenix. Not great, but focusing the Liberator down at the Phoenix. Easily done. Chasing back and back and back. The Hellions do get into the natural base of MaNa at the counterattack on the other side,
Oh
though.
my gosh.
And roasting up those probes. Nicely done. 8 probes down. Into the main base we go. 9 probes down. Phoenix responding to this desperately. Nice block with the Warpin, but 10 probes die. 11 probes die. They're bunching up a little bit there, but the Phoenix do clear everybody out. 11 probes down. Spirit up 50 to 44 workers.
That was incredibly painful for MaNa. He did a great job holding the attack on the front lines, but those Hellions that Spirit kept alive were able to finally find some damage for the Terran. Now, Spirit does have to be careful as MaNa is moving out. An observer overhead could be spotted, potentially scanned. Spirit is investing in turrets in his mineral lines in order to help deal with the Phoenix problem, then just pulling home to his bunker. He's also got 3 Cyclones out to help deal with Phoenix.
I don't know if that's enough, man. I like Cyclones, but dude, these Phoenix are fast. They're lifty. They hit hard. Just plinking away at the starport here.
Yeah, Spirit wanted to land that starport as quickly as possible. Now he's going to pay the price, but he does have Stimpack. Forces a recall from MaNa. Phoenix come on in to try and soak some damage, but I believe that cost MaNa 2 Stalkers on the retreat as Spirit shows his hand of already having Stimpack done. Phoenix do fly into the main, lift up a couple of SCVs, but now the Terran is out on the map. He's going to catch one of the Phoenix, almost gets the second one. And Spirit just has a massive Terran army right now crossing the map. MaNa, he did produce 1 Colossus and has 2 Immortals out. The bio is also unsupported. Well, the Medivacs are just showing up now to heal that. Cyclones do get force fielded. 1 Immortal is way too far forward, though, on the wrong side of the force field. But Spirit doesn't finish it off. Gonna regret that decision as it will begin regenerating those shields, and that barrier will come back off cooldown again.
Yeah, losing those 3 Cyclones, they're a little too far out ahead of the rest of the army, and then trying to get some shots off there and take down that Immortal. Fail, moving into the main base. Oh, those guys get caught out and destroyed.
Looks like we may have a bit of a base race situation. No, MaNa wises up and heads on home. Recall has recently been used. It is still on cooldown, so Spirit has free reign of MaNa's main. Gonna unpower one of those pylons, unpower the second one. A Colossus that was produced is coming out, and the Marines are rather overstimmed, so they will be vulnerable. But 9 probes go down in all. Spirit can keep moving these units around to keep the drop going, keep pressure on MaNa. This has allowed the Terran to take his 3rd base, get a nice supply lead. The Protoss is rather supply blocked.
Yeah, I mean, the depowering of those buildings was good too, but MaNa into the 3rd base, forcing a liftoff on that orbital command. Maybe coming back home, boosting as he want to counterattack, get back into the main base. Maybe he does. Swinging around the Phoenix, do miss that. Can't take down the orbital. The Cyclones, or the Sentries are not going to be able to do that. Charging in here, oh man, defending is going to be tough. Spirit is just going to go ahead right to that 3rd base, thinking about it. Yep, unloading, healing up, stepping into either the main base or going for the 3rd base. A single Colossus is here. I don't think it wants to fight against this much stuff, but he's going after the easier damage of these probes. 3-4 probes go down. 1 Colossus with the shield batteries. Pretty scary stuff, and MaNa's bringing his army home to deal with this little dropship.
Yeah, Spirit splitting the Marines in order to keep this drop going as long as possible. Brings the probe kill count up to 10 in the past few seconds. And Marines are unloading as the Phoenix pursue and will shut this down, but 12 probes dying. Spirit completely took the pressure off himself. He's built up an army supply lead, he's got an upgrade lead, and very importantly is producing Vikings to counter the Phoenix and Colossus. Ghosts are also being made 3 at a time right now, which is just going to be an absolute hard counter to everything Protoss has.
Yeah, there's nothing you can make where ghosts aren't good against it. It's true. EMP's fantastic. Widowmine's getting shots off. If you're a little bit too aggressive here, too, got another dropship hitting up the left side from Spirit.
That is a double Medivac drop, this time with Marauders in the mix, so they will potentially be able to challenge Colossus. However, there is Zealots to support. Very wise decision by MaNa. The 3rd of Spirit is being bullied. Zealots inside the main base are getting cleaned on up. Drop at the natural base. A Colossus does walk down that cliff. However, that drop comes back into the 3rd. So probes are going to be sandwiched between all this bio, and the 3rd is just going to be gutted. MaNa knocked down to 34 probes. He's pushing on the front lines, but Spirit is wisely staying in his natural base, knowing that he's dealing massive economic damage.
Ooh. Shutting down this drop with Works, yeah, definitely shutting it down. It's going to take a second to clear these guys out. They're going to stutter stem. They're going to stim. They're finally dead. But man, 57 to 38 workers in favor of Spirit, plus the mules, plus relanding his third base is going to be such a problem.
Yeah.
Dude, what an aggressive game back and forth here.
Yeah. Once Spirit does reland this third base, that's going to be huge for him, as he's got the SCVs to saturate it, and then some. He's going to pull SCVs off the line to repair his Vikings. Now, he doesn't have Medivacs, as his starport has been producing only Vikings to counter these Colossus and Phoenix, which is very important because MaNa does have a massive amount of Colossus. One EMP connects on the Colossus to soften them down. Spirit pulls the SCVs. He's got +1 attack, trying to target down the Colossus, but so far none of them have died, so they are getting big swipes off. However, Vikings still remain in the sky. Suddenly it's 2 Colossus. Spirit loses a lot of bio units. However, the Vikings will not actually target down the last Colossus. There's still one remaining, but MaNa's hand was really forced into that attack, and he doesn't get the kill. Spirit loses 22 SCVs, though, to really even the worker count up, actually bring it to a lead for MaNa. MaNa's now ahead 10 workers, and he does have one more Colossus out. The Phoenix remain as well.
Yeah, that was incredible. What an attack by MaNa, basically evening up the score here in this game. I don't know, Spirit was feeling pretty good about things, but I think his Vikings were attacking those Phoenix a little bit too much instead of attacking the Colossus. And that Colossus ended up getting major damage here. New Colossus joins the party, 0 kills on him. Getting chased down a little bit and target fired. And no, just microing back a little bit. Zealots get hacking away at the same time. New Colossus micro is so good, does get target fired there. Zealots going down. Phoenix and Zealots, is it enough here? Spirit has a 10-15 supply army lead. The Medivacs keep getting picked off by these Phoenix, but he holds on to the third base while continuing to mine from his third base back home.
Yeah, MaNa is not one to quit, though. He is feeling the pressure to try and kill Spirit, as Spirit's army is better than that of the Protoss. Spirit's got 1-1. He's got Ghosts out. And then just bio in general is pretty formidable against Protoss with no upgrades. So MaNa may try this once more, this time going for Stalkers. He does have Blink, and in low numbers, Stalkers can be microed effectively. There's Ghosts that are forward. A mass lift goes down on the Phoenix to remove the Ghosts from the equation. They do get off 1 EMP still, and another of them does stay alive with energy in the back, so it will potentially be able to drop that. However, nice snipes by the Stalkers to pick off 2 of Spirit's Medivacs. That's going to make every stim more painful. The Terran is producing another Viking, though. He's making another Medivac. He's like, I need to heal, but I also need to do something about that Colossus. MaNa denying mining at the third is also huge, even for a second, forcing SCVs off the line.
Yeah, they're just being so careful, so cautious, picking off what they can, not being greedy, not overcommitting, not getting in there too hard. MaNa maybe considering taking a 4th base up there at the 1 o'clock position. We'll see, but so far, just trying to get swipes off, keep those Colossus alive as much as possible. But, man, stutter stepping forward. Spirit feels really confident right here. Colossus does get taken down. Second Colossus getting very low on HP as well. It's only Stalkers defending a couple Zealots. Yes, Zealots are going to buy a little bit of time, a couple extra swipes on these Colossus. Charging in, trying to take it down. Now the Colossus microphone MaNa is absolutely insane today.
And it keeps
it alive. It's got 10 total kills. Looking good.
Yeah, incredible value on the trades for MaNa, all things considered. The fact that he's up against 1-1 bio and microing well against it. He used the Stalkers to target down the Marauders, as Stalkers actually deal extra damage to the Marauders, so very wise decision there. He knows Spirit's going to try and step forward with them. The Observer is present. That's revealing these Widow Mines. That's very big, as they are incredibly important to Spirit's defense right now. Colossus getting swipes off, denying mining at that third base once more, and Spirit's only on 32 SCVs. He can't afford to lose that many more. He's got to repair the command center to keep it alive, though. Spirit lifts some of his units into his Medivac. I think that's a bit of a micro mistake. MaNa is just killing off so many of the SCVs. He's forced Spirit off the third base. The Terran is down to 19 workers, and he may lose that third. There's Stalkers that are uncontested shooting at it.
It's very low on HP. Not a lot of Stalkers here, but they're gonna get it. Bam! Third base down on the other side of it, though. Spirit's got to drop. Killing some probes here, too. 5 probes die, but it's 45 to 19 workers. The reversal here by MaNa in this game is insane. He was down big time. Now he is up big time. Spirit on 2 bases at 15 minutes, mining out everything. His income is falling off a cliff right now. He's got under 100 minerals at the moment, and this is, I think, a last hurrah. Maybe lifting off the command center in the main base to the third might work out for him. Yeah. But he needs to chase. He needs to get something done. He needs to kill this Colossus. He needs to maybe take down a base of MaNa's too.
Spirit, he lost his starport, so he's not making any more medivacs. He does get the Viking, so he can start to kite the Zealots and Stalkers. However, just there's so few units left for the Terran. He's not making that many more as he's broke as a joke. Meanwhile, MaNa has got up a 4th base. He can hit all those warp-ins as a result, and Spirit being forced back is just putting time against him. He needs to be killing MaNa right now, not defending at his natural.
Yeah, 100%. He needs a 3rd base. He really needs to lift off the command center and put it at the 3rd or somewhere. Maybe, hopefully, MaNa won't find it.
MaNa sees
if he's going to do this.
GG.
But yeah, nice. Shuts it down. MaNa up 2-1 in our best of 7. What a fantastic PBT that was. Whew, like I said, we don't ever really get 25-minute ones, but 16-minute ones can be really exciting too.
Yeah, that was phenomenal by MaNa. He really put in the work to make the comeback happen. Everything seemed right for Spirit. But in the end, maybe the odd micro mistake maybe cost him there. And just MaNa's phenomenal micro is what won him that game.
100%. Great pressure. I mean, Spirit was taking his pound of flesh on the other side of the map too. Killing a lot of probes. Like really consistently harassing there, but never killed a Nexus, which is big. Can replace those with the Chrono Boost if you've got the Nexuses to do it. And yeah, just keeping the pressure on Spirit all the time. Killing that 3rd was massive. And from there, just not able to keep it going. Good map awareness, good Blink Stalkers, good Colossus micro pretty consistently throughout that match. And we're trying to see what map we want to get into next here from Spirit. I mean, it's a best of 7, so going down 2-1 is not the end of the world. Should not be that crushing.
No, definitely not.
We'll see where we want to go for the next map. As Spirit is contemplating his choices here, what is available? What maps have we already been on? We've been on Ley Lines. We've been on Whispers of Gold. We've been on Ultra Love.
Yes, we will see if it goes the distance anyway. We'll see every map except King's Cove and Neon Violet today.
As those were vetoed, yep.
I keep saying it. The 9-map pool is the best thing added to StarCraft 2. Like, it was one of the last things Blizzard did as far as quality of life updates go, and it just made things so much better.
Absolutely. Bigger map pool makes for more interesting stuff. Looks like Spirit is still contemplating, thinking very hard about what map he wants to do. Well, yeah, happy Saturday, everyone. I think it's Saturday pretty much everywhere in the world at this point. Trying to think where that international date line is and how far it is. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Hope you're enjoying SOOP StarCraft Global number 13. It's a European-centered event. We do most of these are Korean-centered events at a different time to help the Koreans play at a time that they're used to. This one's more helpful for the Koreans in the afternoon and the evening hours for them. Earlier hours for us in the North America, especially on the West Coast-ish of North America too. So thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the support too for the 500 gem prize pool boost. That does boost the prize pool for the players. It doesn't go to us. It goes to the players. So always keep that in mind.
I tried one misclick and SOOP banned me from chat for 10 minutes.
That's interesting.
So you tried to type one misclick and GG.
And the SOOP platform didn't like that, huh?
Contains banned words. That is weird. GG.
Wonder
what's
what it
what's
is.
the banned word? That's the question. One misclick. Okay, is it misclick?
I don't know if it's going to ban you because
It's
you're
saying
running
it to
the
me.
channel.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh, misclick is a bad word. Oh, that's funny. That's really funny.
Yeah, it's misclick. Apparently, SOOP doesn't like backseat gaming.
That's annoying.
I will pass that forward to get that resolved. Spirit did request a break, so we're not just dilly-dallying dealing with this.
He's back. The man says Abyssal Reef. Let's go.
Okay, Abyssal Reef. We're going under the sea.
Under the sea, under the sea,
Under the sea.
under the sea. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter, under the sea. Do they have that song in the Little Mermaid remake?
I haven't watched the Little Mermaid remake, so I wouldn't know.
Me neither. I'm gonna look it up.
It's been quite a while, but I did listen to like the actual original Little Mermaid story. That was interesting.
Like the Hans Christian Andersen one?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's brutal stuff. Doesn't she, like, cut off her own feet or something in that story?
Yeah, I think she like is about to murder the prince or something too, from what I recall.
Yeah. Dude, Hans Christian Andersen does not mess around. German fairy tales in general are pretty nuts. Oh.
Oh.
Spirit, come back. Spirit.
Spirit says, wait. Okay, he says 1 minute. Says he's having lag.
Okie doke. What's up, Phil? Phil Epic Bread. Tier 3 sub on for me on Twitch. How's it going, Phil? Happy Saturday, man. They do have Under the Sea. Okay. I'm finding a list of the songs. Apparently they have all the songs from the original cartoon, but also have added 3 new songs.
Mermaids were not good creatures. No, I don't think in lore they really were. Were like old sailor stories.
Right. They're monsters, effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phoenix says, I can play if you need someone to swap out for Spirit. I don't know if MaNa can handle that many nukes, Phoenix. Phil Epic Bread says, hey, tier 3 into house.
Yeah, he's a tier 3 sub of mine out at twitch.tv/FalconPaladin.
Map Pack on says
Phil.
MaNa. Okay. Spirit says ready,
All right.
MaNa is ready, so we are ready, and away we go into the next match. Thanks so much to everyone for sticking tight, and yeah, it's great to see everyone coming out for this SOOP event. Do create an account and press follow, as we're pretty interactive here on the platform.
Absolutely. We will read your chats most of the time.
Most of the time, unless it's just ridiculous. Or unless you type the word misclick, in which case we won't see it.
Will not read it, or it's not there.
Alrighty, here we are in the upper left. MaNa taking a hard-fought 2-1 lead. It's the Liquid Protoss.
And in the bottom right, Spirit, looking good, looking fancy in orange.
Yeah. I like how the players just picked a color scheme and stuck with it. Phil Epic Bread calling himself the Lord of the Loaf.
Uh-huh. Germans, man. I don't know.
That's fantastic.
All right, kids. Spirit, I think it's time to break out some nukes. I think it's time to really throw MaNa off his game.
When's the last time you
Made
saw
Ghost?
Cloaked Ghost Rush? Remember when that was a
Oh.
thing?
Yeah, super fun too. Proxy those suckers. Oh yeah. It's been a very long time.
I might have to go do this on ladder.
Might have to.
I'll do that next time we're in a 3v3 match.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Marine shoos away MaNa's scouting probe. Stargate on the way up for the Protoss. And Factory going up for Spirit.
Yeah, pretty normal stuff here. There's that second gas timing. Everything's fine. Stargate, I'm going to get Phoenix.
They went pretty darn well for him last game, so I don't blame MaNa for trying it again.
Although switching it up with an Oracle could be pretty interesting here.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're not ready for it.
Spirit is a fairly aggressive Terran, so Oracles can be hugely useful during that. He's going to try and juke out, but loses the Reaper early on. He did at least see the Stargate, but still, you generally want to keep that Reaper alive so you have the map control, or at the very least get a probe when it dies. So that is a good start for MaNa. Twilight Council on the way up for the red Protoss.
I'm on DT Rush. Let's go. Cloaked Ghost Rush against DT Rush. Who wins? I mean, considering the Terran has Scanner by default.
Yeah, EMP can reveal DTs too.
Ooh, good point. They have a lot of options for it. Hey, look, the Oracle's swinging in. Hello, Mr. Oracle.
In goes the Oracle.
Cyclone. Yeah, great Cyclone placement there. Reveals it, so maybe we can get in where it's not a little bit later. Solid Mule call down as always. Charge on the way. Phoenix production continuing. And here we go.
Yeah, 3 racks play from Spirit once more. Double Tech Lab so he can make those hefty Marauders that are the anti-stalker tech. But look at this, MaNa going into charge and building more Phoenix. So are we going to see like some Zealot Phoenix charge all in?
Kind of feels like it, huh?
It does. He's got a 3rd on the way though, so like maybe it's just to defend against whatever Spirit goes for. But whatever Spirit goes for is 3 racks bio, and I'm not sure Phoenix Zealot is the best against that. But
no. Marines and Marauders can handle that fairly easily. I don't know.
yeah, I think we're going to have to see a Robo and Colossus as quick as possible for MaNa, keeping in mind that he will have to make a defense happen once Spirit moves out. So he's got to get there as safely as possible. So probably not make too many more probes at this point. Make as many units as possible while also teching towards those Colossus, because this timing is inevitable.
Yeah, sure looks like it, man. We are lining this up perfectly. MaNa's got good map vision. He sees when this move out is happening.
He does.
Yep, got a stasis there. Got an Oracle sharking around too for scouting purposes, and maybe diving in and killing a couple SCVs if he's got the time for it.
Drops
Ooh,
a
nice revelation on all of those Marines. He sees exactly how many Marines there are. Dim's finishing up. Plus one attack is coming in. MaNa throws down a Robo Bay immediately. Does he have time?
I don't think that's going to be done by the time this bio hits. Now, knowing is half the battle, so just seeing when the attack is coming is going to help MaNa prepare to defend this. He's already got out 8 Zealots. He's Chrono boosting out an Immortal, realizing he just needs everything he can possibly get. A scan gets dropped for Spirit. It sees the Phoenix, but it doesn't see the Zealots, which is actually quite an important scout. As far as Spirit knows, maybe MaNa has got like Stalkers, or is already going into Colossus early on. So if Spirit overcommits, maybe there's a chance the Phoenix and Zealots will punish him. He's going to attack these rocks. MaNa knows exactly where and when this is coming, thanks to that constant revelation. The Zealot count has swelled to 12, with the first Colossus being produced. That thing cannot get out fast enough for MaNa.
No, it's being chrono boosted. Here we go, man. 73 to 57 army supply. Charge lots. Get their first blood there, taking out a single Marine. Widow Mines with their little flashlights on the front, ready to waddle up here and burrow at the front. Guardian Shield getting popped. Zealots outside of Guardian Shield, not really benefiting from that too much. Phoenix come over to try to threaten, maybe get after these Medivacs. Medivacs are healing quite nicely. It is kind of falling apart here. Colossus is just about to pop. MaNa just buying as much time as he can. Yeah, and here it is. It's finally arrived. It doesn't have extended thermal lance, so it's got its little tiny baby range here. Ooh, Widowmine takes out the Oracle as it swings in. The Widowmine's getting hits on the Phoenix as well, blowing them apart. 20 supply remaining here from MaNa. I don't think it's enough unless we have some really, really fancy Colossus Micro here, which he's doing a good job with the stutter step back on it. But man, reinforcements coming in. That third base looks like it's going to die, but I think he can maybe afford to lose that as long as he doesn't lose the entire army right now. He is probably sacking it. Yeah. I mean, he came in a little bit too late to save it.
That's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, and coming in, losing that army. Charge lots, charge in. Bam. Spirit ties it up. 1-1 GG. Or 2-2, sorry. We're tied up at 2-2.
Yeah, MaNa's Colossus just a little bit too late. Maybe went a little bit too heavily into the probes against that 3 racks attack.
Yeah, and really just kind of relying on Phoenix and Zealots to save his butt there. I don't know. I don't know what that was exactly. We talked about it. We're like, he doesn't really have any splash damage here on the 3 base. What's he going to do? And then he finally decides to go into it when he sees the huge Marine count, but too late. It's kind of a build order loss there for our guy, MaNa. So, rounding into shape here. Spirit determined to make a series of this thing. And if you're tied 2-2 in a best of 7, you're having a pretty good series thus far, I would argue. So, Amygdala, MaNa says, for game number 5 here. We're 2-2 after 4 matches thus far. Pretty short games for 3 of them. A little bit of a longer one for that 3rd one. But that's PvT in a nutshell. All right, Spirit says go. MaNa says go.
Okay. And
we're ready to rock.
We go. That beat means we are continuing on with this series. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in to the SOOP StarCraft Global number 13. You can follow us on SOOP or check out Falcon and myself on pretty much any social media site if you want to get notified whenever we do another one of these events. Pretty much every 2 weeks, though. And here we are in the upper right, representing Team Liquid. It's MaNa.
And at the bottom left, it's our red Terran Spirit. Tied the series up 2-2 in that last game. Looking pretty good. A little +1 stim timing with some Widowmine shenaniganry.
Yeah, is Spirit on a team right now? I'm not sure.
Spirit, StarCraft 2. Liquipedia says no. He last played for Natas Vencir. So, nope, teamless. That's okay. He's playing really well.
He's a free agent, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see whether we get the Esports World Cup announcement or not, as that will definitely determine whether StarCraft 2 players find teams incredibly easily or not. Probe Scout for MaNa moving out once again. We've got this weird bleeding debris on Amygdala. Cybercore first for the Protoss, playing it nice and safe.
All right, Probe, what is your plan? I see you up there.
To wait until the Reaper shows up. Or goes by.
Yeah, be impatient.
And Spirit does send that right across the map. Notably, though, Spirit is going for a second Reaper and a Factory, so going for the Reaper Hellion opening. I personally love doing this in TvP, but it is high risk, high reward. There's that first Reaper crossing the map. Shows up at MaNa's natural. The Adept will be on it. The probe does head on out. Now, I'm not sure based off the scout whether MaNa knows that it's gonna just be multiple Reapers and a Hellion, or whether he's just like, oh, he's making a Marine and probably going into Cyclone or something. I would be interested to ask MaNa if he knows exactly where the game's at based off that scout or not.
Yeah, it'd be fun to get his thought process. Is he just playing the odds, or does he actually know what's happening, right?
Yeah, because, like, Terran sometimes does go Marine Factory into Hellions or Mines or whatever. Spirit, though, just makes a single Hellion and 2 Reapers, so not committing to this super hard. And then he does have up his natural base. Not super delayed or anything like that. And since it's Spirit, of course he's going for a Widowmine drop. I think he probably Widowmine drops more than any Terran I see.
You think so? I think every Terran Widowmine drops their face off.
Okay,
Like...
maybe it's just I watch mostly Spirit games.
Yeah, that's fair. He's cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to track TVPs and find which Terrans Widowmine drop more than the others, but I feel like they all Widowmine drop at least half the time. And if Spirit's up there at like 78 or like 80%, sure, I get that. Hey, Hellion, what's up? No damage? Cool. Hey, what's up, Reaper? Got a kill? Nice job, dude. You're also dead.
2 Reapers.
Widowmine drop in. Hey, great pull. Fantastic pull. 1 probe down. Oh, loses the Widowmine. Second probe down. Loses the Widowmine. Fantastic, fantastic showing on defense there from MaNa.
That is 5 dead Terran units for 5 probes. MaNa will take that trade any day of the week, I think.
Every day of the week.
Okay, a Raven is on the way now for Spirit. Factory following it up.
Alright, kids. Raven on a hunt.
Yeah.
MaNa says, man, I didn't have extended thermal lance last game. That's why I lost. Let's get extended thermal lance.
Yeah, firing that up before the first Colossus. Raven goes in, tosses down an auto turret. We'll get 2, maybe 3 probes. No, just 2 thanks to that battery.
Yeah, that placement was good, though, because it was out of range of the units, but also the shell battery couldn't heal the probes on the gas.
Yeah.
That was very sneaky.
It's always nice harassing by the gas, because if a worker's in gas, the pro gamer can't issue commands to it to save it. It just pops out and dies.
Bummer.
Impact on the way for Spirit. 3 racks, 3 CC play. MaNa, though, will not have to worry about aggression coming his way by the time he's built up a decent Colossus count. So that's really going to set the stage for this game. That's probably going to force Spirit into going into Vikings at some point.
Absolutely.
MaNa sees everything with this handy-dandy observer.
Yeah, sees that tank count looking pretty hefty at 3 at 6 minutes. No tank production is continuing here. We're just into Marauders, Medevacs. Getting upgrades for the Marines. And here come a whole bunch of 4 warp gates. It's not only 4 warp gates, but it's 4 warp gates in conjunction with everything else that's already happening here.
Yeah. So
I'm going to tell my grandkids about the era of the 4 warp gate terror upon the ladder back in Wings of Liberty. Destroyed everybody for weeks.
Yep, just be old and senile and yelling about things like DT rushes.
Yeah. 6 pools. You don't know the pain. You've never felt pain unless you've had 6 lings in your base at 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
Okay, MaNa trying to secure up a 4th base, but Spirit is moving out. 3 Colossus are present. There is no charge done though, so he doesn't have easy Zealots to bolster his lines and close the gap on the Terran Force, so MaNa just going to have to play it a little bit more passive. Charge just fires up now. Finishing that battery up and keeping it alive is very important. If Spirit targets that down, it will be huge. Feedback kills the Raven instantly, however, the battery is gone. The High Templar wanders forward and dies. Spirit is just going to right-click on that 4th base and target it down so quickly. MaNa, though, quickly rebuilds another 4th. He doesn't want to fall behind in the economy. So a very respectful decision. We'll see if he takes a 5th shortly after, just to have double the expansions for redundancy. I love it when pro players do that. If they're floating any amount of money, it's always worth it to build another expansion. Spirit now is looking to get a bit of a drop-off, though, towards the natural of MaNa. There's that battery that could potentially help out warping and reinforcements, but there goes Spirit. 2 probes do get scouted. The transfer of the probes is going to reveal that this is present at the new 4th base location, so Spirit actually goes on down there, and the Marines may get to work on that Nexus. No, Spirit just lifts up and boosts on out of there. MaNa, meanwhile...
Oh, he just leaves.
Has Zealots ready to warp in and charge that 3rd base. Spirit has a bunker nicely surrounded by depots, though.
Yeah, that's some really nice Sim City. I thought that medevac would maybe try to swing into the natural base, but it's not doing it. Zealots are charging it at the same time this attack is happening. So good force fields falling back. Zealot trying to get on top of that bunker. They do go around and they get it. SCV's trying to repair. They're a little bit too late on the upswing, though. Bunker down, unloading back at that 4th base. And Zealots are running for their lives. The entire army of Spirit is coming home, except for the guys that are harassing that 4th base. Zealots maybe forcing a liftoff on that 3rd CC. Nope, they decide to pick up and, well, just run out of there. They're fast enough they can just do that.
Yeah, Spirit's reinforcements were not enough to deal with 12 Zealots. The bunker wasn't enough. That's why he's building another bunker, but he only had 1 Marine in it last time, so maybe if he leaves some Widow Mines or something, not that he has any. He also notably doesn't have many Vikings out, so I would actually love to see MaNa add in another Colossus if he realizes it. When a Terran's undercutting on Vikings, if you can have an extra Colossus or 2, that is huge for you as a Protoss. MaNa is investing in more High Templar than anything, though, but Spirit does have many Ghosts out, so that's why I would love to see another Colossus or Disruptors, something like that, get added in.
Yeah, the EMP does hurt the Colossus and the Disruptor, but it doesn't render them utterly useless like the High Templar. There's a good unload storm from the low ground, no less. War Prism survived with like a 4 hit points on that sucker.
MaNa accidentally shoots his own Colossus for a second, but fortunately realizes his mistake very quickly. That crippled Warp Prism is still able to make warp-ins, though, as MaNa has got 28 Zealots out. He's rolling around to the 4th base of the Terran, gonna deny mining. Beautiful force fields to kill the SCVs.
Woof.
MaNa has got a nice upgrade lead as well, currently 2-1, heading into 3-2, which if he chrono boosts will be done prior to the upgrades of Spirit to give him even more of an upgrade lead. A High Templar does get caught by Spirit's bio. That's quite nice for the Terran. Drop inside the main base does get cleaned up. Spirit uses the opportunity to charge forward. EMPs took out a lot of MaNa's army. He's shuffling his Colossus forward. He's been knocked down to just 2, but he does have a 3rd one building. Still, though, Spirit's army is quite formidable right now. MaNa has 3 High Templar out presently.
And, swarming on those tanks there. High ground not going to save you from the Psystorm, I'm afraid. 117 to 107 army supply.
Oh, the Prism.
Got it, but unloaded. Got a final storm off there before getting obliterated. They are very weakened and wounded tanks. Every single tank getting target fired. And the remaining, no, all the tanks are down. Marine Marauder damage output is still pretty good. Nevertheless, EMP getting tossed down there as well. Ghost in the front lines gets sniped off. You can hear his death screams even over my yelling. He's so loud. And Spirit in full retreat here.
Yeah, beautiful blink by MaNa, picking off a medivac. The Colossus really are unanswered right now. Spirit has literally one Viking, and I mentioned this earlier. If Protoss can capitalize on Terran slipping on their Viking count, all of a sudden you're trying to deal with 3 Colossus that have an attack upgrade advantage. When you have no Vikings, that is impossible as the Terrans. The Spirit is just being absolutely bullied right now as a result of his composition. And he doesn't even have Ghosts to support this, so diving on top of this army will not be easy.
Yeah, losing that 3rd orbital really sucks. Charging on in. Guardian Shield getting popped there, and once again, Spirit cannot engage. The tank gets obliterated. The one Viking trying to kill all 4 of these Colossus. Not going to happen, man. The Zealots need to be assisting with all those Marauders at the front lines, but I'm not sure it matters all that much. 94 to 73 armor supply. The Protoss is parked on your front door. Supply depots are getting wiped out. SCVs are dying at the same time. Trying to hold your natural base is a complete wasteland, and MaNa falls back. There's an attack up there onto the planetary at the 4th base. While they're at it, that's going to get cleared out for sure, but then that's an opportunity to come in and take down the natural orbital too. The high ground siege tanks are going to keep it alive for now, but Spirit is definitely on the back foot.
He definitely is. Now, he is doing a good job holding on, but look at MaNa's Nexus, building a bad manner Nexus on Spirit's side of the map. Maybe that's just for a cheeky battery and energy overcharge. However, you don't do that unless you're feeling very confident as the Protoss, and MaNa may be playing the player a little bit, knowing that Spirit can get tilted, saying, how do you feel about a Nexus on your side of the map? The Protoss rotates, kills off that gold base, and Spirit is going to come forward, drops an EMP. The Stalkers were on the wrong side of that mineral line, but they can actually get through a gap there, and they also blink away. Spirit isn't dead yet, but he did just take more economic damage. He is rather supply block, building 6 depots at a time. I think Spirit is going to have one chance to take a fight, and it's not going to be easy, as MaNa has 5 Colossus against 3 Vikings.
EMPs are good. They're not that good, folks. There's only 1 siege tank in the group here, too. So a bit of an awkward angle, I think, for both players. Spirit's got that high ground. He's got that little choke that MaNa doesn't really want to attack into there. It's a really awkward spot here. Maybe it might take a second to knock down those rocks. The Stalkers blinking in there a little bit and then blinking back out again. Just casually taking down a refinery. Does he want to take those rocks down so he has an easier access to this base? Not really. I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, these players are playing rather quickly, as taking the right engagement is everything. Spirit has begun producing Vikings once more. I mean, he loses another one, which is not ideal. He's got 5 out presently, 5 Vikings to 5 Colossus. MaNa goes for a Prism Storm Drop once again. Vikings may kill the Prism, which is nice. The Protoss is now rotating around towards that 3rd base location, which is going to be easy pickings as it's not a planetary that can defend itself. Looks like Spirit is moving out on the map, potentially going to be forcing a bit of a base trade, which, I mean, his odds weren't great in the first place, so maybe it's the move.
Yeah, the counterattack looking to do a lot of damage here. That Nexus is dead. Trying to pull the probes out. The probes are fighting for whatever reason here. But yeah, Spirit trying to turn this into a base race is maybe the best move, but there are so many bases for MaNa, and I don't know. This is going to run out of steam here from Spirit at some point. The money's going to run low here on Spirit. That planetary does hold for now. MaNa decides to maybe come back home and try to deal with this threat.
Yeah, Spirit making the game a little uncomfortable for MaNa could put him in a position that he can take a good engagement. Now, his Viking count is still pitiful on this side of the map. He's got 3 more on the other side of the map, but only 5 with his army. Still, though, the Terran is just going in even deeper. I mean, he's abandoning his 1 tank, but he is going to have the high ground against MaNa's army. MaNa now has to fight up his own ramp. He's got so many Colossus, though. He's got 6 Colossus. The Vikings will not even kill 1. There we go. 1 goes down, but man, oh man, this is so many Colossus. Spirit is taking the best fight that he possibly can on an amazing high ground position, but Colossus don't care about your high ground, so Spirit is forced out of MaNa's main base. The Protoss has enough resources to warp in 30 Zealots. Medivacs are dying in the upper right corner. It is not a safe spot. And
No!
MaNa realizes that Spirit has Vikings in the bottom right side, but they're not going to go do anything. GG. MaNa takes the 3-2 lead.
I thought maybe the decision to go back home was the wrong one, but MaNa makes it work. Spirit high grounding as much as he can, does kill a couple of those Colossus, but not enough to whittle it down to the point that it's out. And then, yeah, that is not a safe place for those poor medevacs in that top right-hand corner. The Stalkers are able to pick them out and take them down, and that is a GG, man. So, whew, MaNa now up 3-2, very close. Spirit needs to win the next 2 games in a row if he's going to win this series.
Yeah.
But so far, what a fantastic finals this has been.
It has been phenomenal. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in to the SOOP StarCraft Global number 13. Big thanks to SOOP for sponsoring the event as always, and thanks to everyone that's helping us get close to that challenge mission. We are 150 gems away from upping the prize pool for the players. And yeah, thanks so much to just everyone for tuning in once more. Okay.
Frostline, let's go.
Frostline. Yeah, not a lot of maps left at this point. If Spirit is able to tie it up, that means our last map will be El Dorado.
Oh. There we go.
Both players are ready, so away we go. Okay. In the upper right, fighting for his life in this tournament, it is Spirit.
And in the bottom left, MaNa. Red and orange. Apologize if any viewers are colorblind. It's not the greatest situation for you here, but I think we can tell who the Protoss and the Terran are, at least when they're on the screen.
Yeah. I do really love how MaNa in that match fully embraced the Colossus.
Absolutely. That's the most Colossus I've seen in a PvT in a while.
Okay. MaNa probe scouting once again. Very respectful player. Will go for a slight variation, just going for the Nexus after the Gateway instead of the Cybercore.
Dangerous build, man.
Oh, no, he goes for the Cybercore first.
I was gonna say, Gate expand against a Terran player is a scary, scary thing. But he thought about it. He was like, well, maybe if there's no gas, and maybe if Spirit went for a CC first. But no. Actually, there we go. Coming back around, he can harass that dude, but he's worried about what's coming out of that barracks.
Yeah, Spirit just makes the one Marine so far. I'm guessing a reactor. There it is. So potential Hellion play coming out of the Terran. We'll see. Although the factory is a ways away from that reactor, so maybe just going to be like a mine or a single Hellion with Marine production. Could always be a tank build from Spirit as well, going for that 1-1-1.
All right, man. Try to get some damage with Hellions. Don't feel like we did a great job with it in the last game. Some pretty good micro from Spirit there. keeping his probes alive against the flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, Spirit has been getting harassment damage done. It's just kind of been, I don't know, the bigger picture that hasn't gone as well. I think the last game was just blatantly not building enough Vikings. That really got him.
Yeah. In fairness, it was an absurd amount of Colossus.
It really
Who
was.
expects the Spanish Inquisition? Yeah.
That Hellion for Spirit almost gets killed by the Adept, so it's going to have to play Ring Around the Rosie to get home safe. There's the Mules dropping for the Terran. Notably dropping them on the closer mineral patches.
Yeah, really important stuff there. Got those buzzsaws buzzing. Like, from a visual perspective, I'm not sure how buzzsaws are better at this than a drill, but I guess there are 2 buzzsaws versus 1 drill.
Yeah, I guess
Maybe
they're
that's
just,
the
like,
difference here.
Cutting off big hunks of the minerals.
Yeah. Bigger pieces.
Why can't mules attack if they got such cool buzzsaws?
Right? SCV's just a little drill and they can attack. Mules should totally be able to attack.
Could you imagine just getting muled to death?
Just like 20 mules dropping on your mineral line and just going blah. That would be a strategy. That would become something that happens in the meta.
Manor muling just becomes the norm.
Yeah.
Spirit going for some harassment, but MaNa reacts rather effectively. In the end, I think that was a single probe for a Mine and a Hellion. Nicely done by the Protoss. MaNa is now counterattacking with his blink just about done. Spirit is going for the second bunker once more, which I do like to see. Now, MaNa is heading across the map very quickly, though. The Terran has 1 tank. He's also building his wall in that nice position that will prevent the Protoss from getting in on top of the tank as easily. The Mine is also still hanging out, potentially able to go back in, but there's MaNa blinking in, eating tank shots, though. Auto turret gets dropped down in a panic by Spirit, realizing that MaNa was thinking about going for that tank.
Look at this great wall of Terran here, man.
Oh, it's such a good meta adjustment by the Terrans to deal with Protoss. Spirit almost gets that Prism as well. Like,
Lifting, repositioning, going for a reactor on that starport.
this is something that Terrans only started doing consistently in, like, maybe the past couple of years.
Uh-huh.
So it's really good to see and has improved the quality of life for Terrans a lot. The double bunker as well, very solid for Spirit, preventing MaNa from getting any critical amount of damage. A little bit of a supply block is nice. The Protoss behind this goes for Colossus Extended Thermal Lance once again. So we shall be left with the question, will Spirit make Vikings?
How many Colossus shall there be? Let's place our bets now. Okay, more than 3? More than 3.
I think I want to say 3. 3
You'd
for
say-
now. If Spirit doesn't make Vikings, MaNa will build 9.
Yeah, fair enough. Auto turret, shield battery. Ah, my nemesis, the shield battery.
Yeah, the auto turret did get in there prior to the battery finishing up, though, which is how I think it got its few kills. So perfect timing on that, just about. Second earlier, and it may have got 1 more probe, but all in all, not bad.
Oh no, Zealots inside your natural. Friendly fire splash on your SCVs. They did kill an SCV with a friendly fire splash.
Spirit moves out with his Marines, hoping to catch that Prism if MaNa mispositions it, and we'll see. Good move out by the Terran. MaNa, not realizing that that happened, does cost him a Prism. That is really nice for the Terran. not having to worry about a counterattack. Spirit's comfortable moving out to take his third base. It's like MaNa wants to get up his fourth base as well. Spirit has got plenty of Marines waiting to counter to shut that down, though. And there's the scout on it.
Nice. Cancel, 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 cancel. Totally canceled. There we go. Beautifully done. 3 Colossus. Yes. More Colossus in production. No. Muffin Games may be correct with his prediction here. Trying to stay out of range of the tanks as much as you can. Burn those Marines to an absolute crisp.
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason why Spirit did lose that previous game, like, it wasn't just that he didn't build Vikings, it's that he also lost his tanks.
Yes. The tanks are a good answer to the Colossus here, too. 5 of them is a pretty beefy number. Little attack down the left side here by Spirit, maybe trying to swing in.
Yeah, not a chance.
This base that's very well defended.
Damage, but
what? Oh, fine. 6 probes. Great. Ooh, great target firing. 9 probes. Can he get 10? No! Shield battery says no. Everybody dies for 9 probes.
Yeah,
maybe not the greatest of trades.
Pretty darn good.
Pretty darn dead, too. Psystorm on the way here from MaNa. Sensor tower getting target fired in particular there. A little bit more blind to the troop movements now is Spirit.
Yeah,
Force fields trying to do what they can. Viking count is about 3 here for the 3 remaining Colossus. Great War Prism micro, though. The War Prism dies, though. So no more of that. There's a very wounded... Oh, yes, Siege Tank shot does take down that Colossus at the front there. 2 Colossus remain, but still a lot of damage output here with the Stalkers, with the Archon, with the Zealots. Guardian Shield getting popped. Sentries at the front, reducing that incoming damage just a little bit, but I think MaNa might just lose everything here.
Really overstaying his welcome a little bit. Eating those tank shots definitely hurt him. A single Marine and Viking do shoot down that Observer. As Spirit leans hard into the Marauders once again, but he has kept his tanks alive. He's going into Ghost now, and he does have his 4th base on the way, which is quite reasonably timed. Now MaNa tries to find a different angle where the tanks are not set up, and he has success with that. Stalkers blinking forward, Zealots killing off most of the tanks. Spirit is in trouble all of a sudden. The Terran had a good army and a good setup. Types the XD, and then MaNa takes the 4-2 victory.